Alright, hey there guys, it's Takasi here, aka JediBro95. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. In this video is going to be discussing why NBA 2K18 should still be viewed as the worst 2K of all time. Now, a lot of people have been I've seen every now and then people put out their top 2Ks list, and you'll get your mix of things like NBA 2K16, 2K15, 2K14, I think 2K17 is up there for some reason. You'll get all those people that'll rank these games, and I have no problem with you ranking these games, but I think when you're ranking these games, you need to remember all the problems that were in each of these games. And one game that is immune to this, in my opinion, and I think needs to be revisited and basically shown shown to people the crap that was in this game is 2K18. Now, when people sit there to me and tell me that 2K18 is better than 2K20 or even 2K17 or even 2K21, I tend to look at you like you just have recency bias because we go through this every single year with the 2K community. It first comes out as, oh, this game is really good, la di da di da, and then about 3 months later, or not even that, this year was like 3 weeks. Everyone started saying that this was the worst 2K ever, and honestly, I really hope this doesn't happen. But it wouldn't shock me in about 3 4 months we start hearing people make claims that next gen 2K21 is the worst 2K ever. It wouldn't surprise me at this point because that's just how this community goes. However, when you say that certain games are better than others, and you point out all the crap that is in one game, but then completely act as if game number two is just the perfect game and nobody should ever touch it, that's where I kind of draw the line and make you go, really? So, and the truth is like I don't really care if you have those opinions. I really just want to know like why you think that, and I really just want to challenge people's idea as to why you would think that. So, if you're going to sit there and say that 2K21 is worse than 2K18 or that 2K20 is worse than 2K18, please take a second and remember everything that was wrong with 2K18. So, like, basically, for a start, the neighborhood was a flop. Like, the neighborhood in 2K18, the concept, the original design, ground zero, the architect blueprint, yeah, it was a flop. And it wasn't a flop for me because of the fact that it was the neighborhood. Truth be told, I liked the neighborhood concept. I thought it was cool to be able to walk around in a neighborhood, go shopping, go to shoe stores, go to like boost stands and shit like that. Truth be told, I thought it was cool that you could walk around and do that shit. But the problem is for me is it got stale after a couple of months. Like, sure, they had those little mini games off in the distance, like jump, like this jump hotspot jump shooting or like a dunk contest or something like that. But truth be told, after about 3 weeks, no one really cared about that anymore. Like, if they had provided some boost to your player, like a +1 to your shooting ability, then it might have been worth playing that. But even then, like certain people would have just given up on that build after about maybe after that like they would have given up on that for like a couple of weeks. So yeah, like the neighborhood concept overall, it was a flop in terms of how it was implemented. Now, to 2K's credit, they have kept it in the game at least for current gen, and they have made it somewhat better. Like 2K19's neighborhood, I would argue is the best out of all the games we've had, which isn't saying much because 20 was the exact same neighborhood, and then this year, honestly, it's a little bit of a different neighborhood, but it's not. It's eh. So, but yeah, so I would just say the neighborhood concept overall fell flat on its face. The next thing that everyone just seems to forget was the archetype system in NBA 2K21, in 2K18. It was not good. The archetype system in NBA 2K18, it was not very good at all. Don't get me wrong, it was cool to find out that you had double, like you could do you had a primary and a secondary archetype, and your attributes and badges were based on that. When you actually made the archetype, it really just did not feel any different. Like, I know a lot of people may have made the same build. Like, I think in 2K18 the most popular builds were like a pure sharp, playmaking shot creator, and there was one shot creating slasher. Those were the three main guard builds, and then for bigs it was a rebounding stretch 4 or 5, and then it was a rebounding rim protector about 3/4 of the way through the year that really became the badge to go to. Slashing shot creator was another build that I completely forgot all about. But like these builds were cool, but they never really panned out because, well, one, they hid everything for the progression and shit behind Road to 99, which also was a horrible idea. The Road to 99 was an absolute joke of a fucking progression system. It literally allowed players to grind my career to 99 overall for online purposes. Now, I had no problem with you grinding in my career to get 99 overall. Truth be told, I don't. Because I do that with this build that I'm on right now, and I will do that the next gen consoles too, because I'm going to assume that they're keeping the 99 overall progression system. However, when it literally is the rep system in question, it takes the need to play park or pro-am or rec center outside of the game. It literally takes that concept and it ruins it because nobody needed to play the rec center. All you had to do was grind my career for about 5-6 months, and you got your my player build to 99 overall. Now, granted, people might have gotten bored with the thing, but let's not act like the potential was still there. Like the potential wasn't there, especially in years like 2K19, where the first 99 overall got to 99 in like 6 weeks by playing my career. No online game, there nothing. And that's why everybody hated it. And I'm actually kind of I was low key kind of ticked off that they actually brought it back in 2K18, 2K19. I mean, because it was clear that 2K just did not listen to us because nobody liked it. So that was another thing that really was a bummer. And again, the progression system. If you could pick what upgrades you wanted, that would have been cool. But overall, the progression system was just dirt in NBA 2K18. Next, let's talk about the actual My Career story itself. And I can just summarize the My Career story in one word. Be fresh. Like, everybody hated that bitch. Okay? Now, I'm not meaning like she's a bitch, like she herself is one, because to be honest, the person that voice acted Be Fresh, she might be a cool person. Honestly, I don't know who she is, and I'm not going to sit here and bash her character because I truthfully don't know who she is. However, when it came to her acting as Be Fresh in the My Career story, oh my lord, was she awful. She was just awful. And it wasn't even like a subtle kind of awful. It was a holy shit, why was she hired type awful. Because, good God, she was just the worst fucking character I have ever seen in a 2K game in my life. Also, cutscenes everywhere. There was literally nowhere you could go that did not have a cutscene. You walk into the fucking NBA store, there was a cutscene. You walk into the shoe store, there was a cutscene for with DeMar DeRozan. You walk to the pro-am to go play with your buddies. Guess what? There's a cutscene with fucking Isaiah Thomas. You walk to the barbershop, cutscene. You walk to your my court, cutscene. And the stupid thing is, they were all unskippable. You had to watch the entire thing for the whole time. Oh my lord, that was just the worst thing about NBA. If I could pick one thing that was worse, the worst thing about the 2K18 My Career, it would be that, okay? Like, I could have tolerated the My Career if the cutscenes were skippable, but holy shit, were they not unskippable. And the fact that they were everywhere. They literally were everywhere. You didn't, like, no matter where you went, there was a cutscene. And more often than not. So that shit just got so tedious. It got so annoying to fucking play that it was. Oh, I hated my career in 2K21, 2K19, 18. Next, the gameplay. Now the gameplay was below average. I'm not gonna say it was outright bad or anything, but when it came to the gameplay with 2K21, with 2K18. I mean, I don't know why I keep saying 21. I apologize. Honestly, I could just summarize the gameplay in 2 words: blow-bys and snatchbacks. That was literally it. If you were bad at 2K18, you were just bad at games in general. There was no way to be bad in NBA 2K18. It was the least skillful game required to win games. Like, you did not have to be good. All you had to know how to do was hold the right trigger and the left stick forward, or hold those two forward and then press down on the right analog stick or the right stick, and you would be able to do a snatchback, and you would get an open shot every single time. It it was terrible. Everything about that was just awful. Like, there was literally no lockdown defenders in 2K20 in 2K18 because of that. So again, I'm going to make this clear before I wrap up this video because I don't want to be too much longer. I don't care that you say 18 and 21 is worse than 18. Personally, I wouldn't agree, but it is your opinion. But if you act as if NBA 2K21 is imperfect because of A, B, C, and D, and E, then I need to hear the same argument for games like 2K17 and 2K18. Because if you don't, then you just come across as having huge recency bias, and it just makes you look like you just don't, like, I don't want to say not know what you're talking about, but it just makes you look like you're just trying to make it seem like the later 2Ks are always greater when they're not. The earlier 2Ks aren't always greater, guys. But with that out of the way, I'm out. Peace.